chaos unfolded in its most deadliest avatar as Israel-Palestine war entered to its second week. In an airstrike launched at Al Ahli Arab Hospital, nearly 500 lost their life. The incident has caused global outrage and paved way for yet another confirmation on who stands with who. Israel points their hands at Palestinian jihadist armed group, and Palestinian officials said the attack was launched in an Israeli air raid. The world leaders unanimously condemned the heinous attack unleashed on the peoples of Gaza Strip, but the blame game is still on. The Al Ahli Arab Hospital was a shelter for thousands of sick, wounded and displaced Palestinians of Gaza Strip. Hamas called the attack a war crime. Initially, Israeli forces refused to comment on the issue, but later attributed the attack as a misfired rocket from the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Protests erupted globally, and Arab countries are outraged by the transparent violation of international humanitarian laws and war crimes by Israel. Countries like Qatar, Egypt, Turkey, Saudi Arabia released statements condemning the attack in strongest possible terms and urged the international community to intervene. World leaders, including Rishi Sunak, Justin Trudeau, and Joe Biden, denounced the horrible attack on Al Ahli Hospital and urged to provide humanitarian access to the distressed civilians. Though Jordan has cancelled the summit scheduled with US President Joe Biden, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, Mr. Biden's visit to Israel reiterated US unwavering support to Israel. But Mr. Biden blatantly failed in achieving his other goal, that is to win over the Arab leaders. While Mr. Biden stood firmly with Israel, believing that the bombing of the hospital was done by Palestinian militant group, Arab leaders chose to believe Gaza officials who believed that the bombing was done by Israel. Failure to meet with Palestinian leaders while being warmly welcomed by Israel has tarnished the American president's diplomatic stance. At the same time, Mr. Biden made it clear that US will continue to supply Israel with unprecedented support. With one US aircraft already delivered and another on its way, Mr. Biden sent warning to rival countries to stay out of the issue. American President Joe Biden's visit to Israel had several layers to it. Mr. President said the main motto of his visit was to enable humanitarian aid flow to the civilians of Gaza. He also said that Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi agreed to provide 20 trucks of humanitarian aid to go to Gaza through Rafah border. But so far, concrete details about the opening of Rafah border, the only crossing out of Gaza, is yet to be declared. The crossing remains closed, and along with it, trucks filled with food and medical supplies from other countries. Adding to the burning wound, Israel has already bombed the Rafah crossing 4 times since the beginning of the war. Iran has already warned Israel to expect preemptive actions adhering to the ground invasion that Israel has planned to execute on the land of Gaza Strip. Iran has already warned Israel to expect the possibility of opening of the several other fronts if the ground invasion happened. Lebanese militant group Hezbollah and Israel has locked horns for about a week now. The cross-border firing, for now, is only limited to the border areas. Reading into the current climate of the deadly war, it is crystal clear that Palestine will not be the only one bearing all the brunt. With no question, Gaza will be destroyed in the ground invasion. But with the possibility of the conflagration to the Arab countries, especially after Tuesday's airstrike, Israel is also looking into a long winter of political and diplomatic instabilities. Thousands from within the state of Israel has already resorted to street, accusing Netanyahu for the escalation.